You have been eating the wrong protein this entire time, and nobody ever warned you about it. Every single fitness expert out there keeps telling you the same thing repeatedly. They say, eat chicken breast, eat salmon, drink your whey protein shake every single morning. They call it the cleanest, the leanest, and the most effective approach for transforming your body. But what if everything you have been told has been slightly incomplete this whole entire time? What if the very best protein for burning stubborn fat was hiding in plain sight always? Not inside a fancy supplement bottle, not in an expensive exotic cut of premium steak either. It is sitting right there at your local grocery store for under $5 per pound today. And once you truly understand why it works, you will never overlook it again after this. Most people never question the protein advice they have been following for years without results. They keep buying the same chicken breast, the same whey tubs, the same expensive salmon fillets weekly. They follow the plan perfectly, they stay consistent, and yet, the belly fat simply refuses to leave. The scale barely moves, the energy stays low, and the cravings keep coming back every single day. Sound familiar? Because this is the exact experience of millions of people following mainstream fitness advice today. The problem is not your discipline, or your effort, or even your calorie counting method at all. The problem is that the protein sources you were sold are genuinely missing something critical inside them. Something your body desperately needs to burn fat efficiently, recover properly, and hold on to your muscle. And that missing piece has been sitting in the meat section of your grocery store this entire time. Before we get into the most interesting part of all this, let us talk about fat loss basics first. When most people decide to lose fat, their very first instinct is to slash their calories dramatically low. They cut carbs, they cut fats, they cut everything, and they end up losing muscle right along with fat. This is the single most common and most damaging mistake people make during any cutting phase at all. When you lose muscle during fat loss, your metabolism slows down, and everything becomes dramatically harder afterward. Your hunger increases significantly, your energy crashes completely, and your body fights fat loss at every step. Protein is the one macronutrient that actively protects your muscle while you sit inside a caloric deficit daily. Without sufficient protein, your body starts cannibalizing your own muscle tissue for energy instead of burning fat. This is why protein is not just helpful during fat loss, it is completely and utterly non-negotiable always. But here is the part nobody talks about loudly enough in the fitness world today at all. Not all proteins are created equal, and the difference between them matters far more than most people realize. The fitness industry has been obsessed with chicken breast for decades now, and it makes obvious sense, honestly. It is lean, it is high in protein, it is easy to prepare, and it fits every diet plan. Salmon gets enormous praise because of its omega-3 fatty acid content and its heart health benefits too. Whey protein became the king of supplements because it digests fast and has a clean amino acid profile. But here is the critical thing: none of these popular sources are giving your body completely and fully. None of them deliver the full and complete picture of what your body actually needs for real results. They give you a solid amino acid profile, yes, but something genuinely crucial is always missing from them. That missing piece is collagen and the powerful bioactive peptides that naturally come packaged along with it. The one whole food that naturally delivers everything your body needs combined together is something most people ignore. That food is ground beef, and specifically the kind that still includes the gristle and connective tissue inside. Now, before you dismiss this entirely, stay with this, because the science behind it is genuinely fascinating stuff. This is not bro science. This is not a trendy diet fad circulating on social media right now. There is real peer-reviewed research published in respected journals backing every single claim made throughout this script. Ground beef has been criminally underrated and misunderstood for far too long in mainstream nutrition conversations today. Most people walk past it at the grocery store thinking it is just a cheap burger option, nothing more. But when you understand the full biological picture, you begin to see it completely differently than before always. Ground beef is not just a budget protein. It is the most complete fat loss food available affordably anywhere. Let us start with what ground beef actually delivers inside your body when you eat it consistently every day. First, you get a complete protein source containing every single essential amino acid your body cannot produce itself. Complete proteins are absolutely critical because your body has no ability to manufacture essential amino acids independently ever. You must obtain every single one from food daily, and ground beef delivers every last one without fail. Beyond the full amino acid profile, ground beef also supplies abundant zinc, bioavailable iron, and critical B vitamins consistently. Zinc alone is a mineral that the majority of people are chronically deficient in without ever suspecting it. Low zinc levels quietly crush your testosterone production, weaken your immune system, and destroy your workout recovery completely. Red meat is among the richest and most bioavailable sources of zinc you can possibly consume on budget. Iron from red meat is heme iron, which your body absorbs dramatically more efficiently than plant-based iron sources. If you feel constantly fatigued, frequently cold, or struggle to maintain mental focus throughout your day regularly, low iron levels may be the real hidden culprit behind those symptoms, and ground beef addresses it directly. Then there is taurine, an amino acid found abundantly in red meat that actively supports your heart health. Taurine helps regulate fluid balance inside your cells, supports your nervous system, and protects muscles from unnecessary breakdown. Ground beef also contains naturally occurring creatine, one of the most thoroughly studied compounds in all of nutrition. Creatine is not exclusively for competitive bodybuilders. It benefits everyday people in ways most people genuinely never expect. It supports cellular energy production, accelerates recovery between workouts, and can meaningfully sharpen your mental focus daily. Studies consistently show that even small natural amounts of creatine make a measurable difference in strength and recovery. Getting creatine naturally from ground beef means you are not dependent on any separate supplement purchase every morning. But here is where things get genuinely interesting, and where ground beef truly separates itself from everything else available. The real secret weapon inside ground beef is something most people either discard or completely overlook when purchasing. It is the gristle, the connective tissue, and the cartilage that gets ground directly into the meat itself. That gristle is absolutely packed with collagen, and collagen changes everything when it comes to your real fat loss results. Most people think collagen is just a beauty product, something added to morning coffee or taken for aging joints. But the science on collagen goes profoundly deeper than that, and it directly impacts your fitness performance significantly. A study published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics proved something genuinely remarkable about this. Researchers divided elderly subjects into two groups and gave one group collagen protein and the other group whey protein. After 15 days, they measured nitrogen balance, which tells you whether your body has enough protein available for repair. A positive nitrogen balance means your body is actively building and protecting muscle tissue as it should be always. A negative nitrogen balance means your body is potentially breaking down your own muscle for energy instead of fat. The collagen group showed a significantly better nitrogen balance compared to the whey protein group at the conclusion. This does not mean collagen beats whey for direct muscle protein synthesis, because that is not the full truth. Whey protein remains superior for direct muscle building, and that evidence is overwhelming and thoroughly documented across studies. But nitrogen balance reflects total protein availability and how efficiently your body manages all of its protein resources together. The collagen was completing the amino acid pool in a way that whey protein simply could not achieve alone. This is especially important for anyone who trains consistently hard and has been depleting their collagen resources over time. Your connective tissue takes a serious and cumulative beating every single time you exercise with any real intensity. Tendons, ligaments, and cartilage all require consistent collagen to repair themselves and come back stronger after each session. If you are not consuming enough collagen regularly, your joints begin aching and your overall recovery suffers badly. Most people blame age or overtraining when the real and fixable issue is simply a dietary collagen deficiency entirely. And here is something the fitness world has genuinely not caught up to discussing or addressing properly yet today. Collagen does not exclusively help your joints. It plays a meaningful and measurable role in actual muscle recovery too. A study in the journal Integrative Medicine looked specifically at this important and underappreciated connection between collagen and recovery. Subjects who consumed collagen protein showed significantly better recovery markers after workouts compared to those who consumed none at all. Collagen was not merely supporting connective tissue in the background, it was actively helping muscles recover faster after exercise. This is a genuinely huge deal, because recovery is ultimately what drives both your fat loss and muscle building. If you recover faster and more completely, you can train more consistently and burn significantly more total calories weekly. Most people are so focused on the workout itself that they completely forget recovery is where results are actually built. You do not get stronger inside the gym, you get stronger during the recovery period that follows each session. Anything that meaningfully accelerates your recovery is directly and simultaneously accelerating your fat loss and physique transformation overall. Collagen from ground beef gristle is one of the most natural and affordable ways to achieve exactly that daily. Now let us talk about bioactive peptides, because this is where the science becomes truly remarkable and genuinely surprising. A peptide is simply a small chain of amino acids, much smaller than a complete protein molecule by comparison. When you digest collagen, it does not simply break down into regular amino acids the way most people assume. Collagen breaks down into specific bioactive peptides that then act as powerful biological signals throughout your entire body directly. These peptides do not just float around waiting to be used as basic fuel like ordinary amino acids do. They travel to specific sites in your body and activate very particular biological processes with remarkable and targeted precision. A study published in the journal Molecules found something absolutely extraordinary about collagen peptides and genetic expression in humans. When subjects consumed collagen peptides, researchers observed increased gene expression directly linked to collagen type 1 formation inside. In plain and simple language, eating collagen peptides literally instructed your body's genes to begin producing more collagen internally. That is not something achievable by simply consuming a large pool of random amino acids from any source. You specifically need the actual collagen peptides present for that critical biological signaling to occur properly inside your body. This is enormously significant for fat loss, because as body fat decreases, your skin and tissue must adapt quickly. People who lose weight rapidly are frequently left with loose skin and damaged connective tissue throughout their entire body. Consuming adequate collagen peptides while actively losing fat helps your skin bounce back far more effectively over time. This is one of the genuine reasons people who eat more collagen tend to appear visibly younger and firmer. Their skin stays more elastic, more hydrated, and holds up far better as body fat progressively comes off them. That is a real and meaningful benefit that nobody ever mentions when discussing the best foods for fat loss. Now let us bring leucine into this conversation, because leucine is absolutely critical for preserving muscle during any fat loss. Leucine is the specific amino acid that switches on muscle protein synthesis at the molecular level inside your cells. Think of leucine as the light switch that initiates the entire muscle building and preservation process within your body. Without sufficient leucine, muscle protein synthesis simply does not get fully activated, regardless of everything else you are eating. This is precisely why collagen alone is insufficient, despite its incredible benefits for recovery and joint health simultaneously. Collagen is naturally very low in leucine, which means it cannot fully trigger muscle protein synthesis independently on its own. Ground beef gives you both the leucine from the muscle meat and collagen peptides from the gristle together simultaneously. You receive muscle protein synthesis activation from the leucine plus powerful recovery and signaling benefits from the collagen peptides. This powerful synergy is something you genuinely cannot replicate by eating plain chicken breast or drinking a Whey shake. When you eat a premium steak, you do receive leucine and complete protein, but you completely miss the collagen. A beautifully trimmed ribeye, or tenderloin, has had nearly all of its connective tissue carefully removed before purchase. That connective tissue, the very material that gets trimmed away, is exactly what your body needs for optimal results. It ends up inside the grinder when ground beef is processed, which is precisely where you actually want it. So, ironically, inexpensive ground beef at your grocery store is nutritionally superior to a costly premium steak in important ways. You get everything the steak provides, plus the collagen peptides the premium steak completely and entirely does not have. And you are paying a fraction of the price, which makes this approach remarkably practical and sustainable for everyone. Protein also carries the highest thermic effect of food compared to carbohydrates or dietary fats by a significant margin. The thermic effect means your body actually burns real calories simply to digest and process the protein you consume. Approximately 20 to 30% of the calories in any protein source get burned during the digestion process itself. That means eating 200 calories of protein results in up to 60 calories burned purely through digestion automatically. No other macronutrient comes remotely close to this metabolic advantage, and it is enormous when you are actively cutting. Protein also keeps you feeling significantly fuller for longer compared to carbohydrates or fats because of slower digestion rates. When you feel genuinely satiated, you naturally eat less without white-knuckling your way through unbearable constant hunger every day. This is exactly why high-protein diets consistently produce the most successful and sustainable fat loss results across populations. Ground beef is one of the most deeply satiating and genuinely satisfying protein sources you can possibly eat regularly. The fat content in ground beef, especially the 80-20 variety, adds significantly to that powerful satiety and lasting fullness. You eat a ground beef meal, and you feel completely satisfied for hours with no cravings and no crashes afterward. Compare that to plain chicken breast, which satisfies hunger temporarily, but rarely kills deep cravings completely or reliably. The combination of fat and protein in ground beef is one of the most powerful natural hunger suppressants available anywhere. People who feel chronically hungry on their diet are often simply not eating enough combined fat and protein together. Ground beef solves both the physical hunger problem and the nutritional gap problem in one single affordable daily meal. Almost nobody considers digestibility when choosing their protein source, and this overlooked factor genuinely matters more than people realize. The most nutritious food in the world means absolutely nothing if your digestive system cannot properly absorb and utilize it. Ground beef is a finely processed food that your digestive system can handle with surprising and consistent efficiency every time. The smaller the particle size of any food, the easier it becomes for your gut enzymes to extract nutrients. When you eat a whole steak or chicken breast, you must chew it very thoroughly to aid proper digestion. Most people simply do not chew adequately, meaning larger chunks reach the stomach only partially broken down and processed. This significantly reduces how much protein your body can actually extract and absorb from that meal in total. Ground beef bypasses this limitation entirely because the grinding process has already handled the mechanical breakdown work for you. Your stomach and digestive system can focus entirely on absorption rather than mechanical breakdown when you eat ground beef daily. This means you are extracting more actual usable nutrition from every single gram of protein you consume each meal. Over time, superior protein absorption compounds into meaningfully better muscle retention, faster fat loss, and more consistent daily energy. Now let us talk about your gut, because most people never connect their protein choice to gut health at all. Your gut lining is the gateway through which all nutrients enter your bloodstream and reach your cells every day. Collagen and glycine from ground beef actively help maintain and repair the integrity of your gut lining over time. A healthy gut lining means fewer food sensitivities, dramatically better nutrient absorption, and a consistently stronger immune system overall. Leaky gut is a very real condition where the gut lining becomes permeable and triggers widespread systemic inflammation throughout the body. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest hidden and underappreciated drivers of fat gain and weight loss resistance. When your gut is inflamed, your hormones become disrupted, your appetite increases noticeably, and fat burning slows down significantly. Collagen and glycine from ground beef actively repair and protect that gut lining against daily dietary and lifestyle stressors. This creates a far more favorable internal environment for your fat-burning hormones to operate exactly as intended naturally. You simply cannot out-train or out-diet a broken and chronically inflamed gut, and most people never address this. Including collagen-rich ground beef regularly in your diet is one of the most effective and affordable starting points available. Glycine is the most abundant amino acid found within collagen, and it is one of the most underrated nutrients existing. It plays direct and important roles in detoxification processes, sleep quality, gut lining integrity, and natural creatine synthesis daily. Many people today are chronically deficient in glycine because they have moved away from eating whole animal foods consistently. When glycine levels drop too low, sleep quality deteriorates, inflammation quietly rises, and exercise recovery noticeably slows down. Getting glycine from real whole food rather than isolated supplements is always more bioavailable and comes with natural cofactors. Ground beef supplies glycine generously, especially when you are eating cuts that still contain natural connective tissue throughout them. Now let us talk about how to cook ground beef in a way that genuinely preserves and maximizes your results. Overcooking ground beef at very high temperatures for extended periods can degrade some of the more delicate beneficial nutrients inside. Medium heat and cooking only until just done is the ideal and recommended method for preserving full nutritional value consistently. Do not drain away all the rendered fat after cooking, because fat-soluble nutrients leave the pan right along with it. Pair your ground beef with vegetables that are rich in vitamin C to significantly enhance collagen synthesis in your body. Vitamin C is an absolutely required cofactor for collagen synthesis, and without adequate levels, the entire process slows dramatically. Bell peppers, broccoli, and spinach are all excellent and affordable choices to combine with your ground beef in meals. This combination creates a nearly perfect meal for simultaneous fat loss, muscle retention, complete recovery, and overall daily health optimization. Ground beef meals are incredibly versatile, and you will genuinely never run out of creative and satisfying ways to prepare them. Burgers, stir-fries, taco bowls, stuffed peppers, meatballs, and pasta sauce are just a few obvious and delicious options available. This variety makes the entire approach genuinely sustainable long-term, and sustainability ultimately determines your final fat loss success completely. A dietary approach you cannot sustain and enjoy long-term will simply never produce the lasting results you are genuinely after. There is also something deeply powerful about the psychological satisfaction that comes from eating real and genuinely filling food regularly. One of the biggest hidden reasons most people fail their diets is that the food simply does not satisfy them deeply. They feel constantly deprived, constantly restricted, and eventually they abandon the plan entirely and return to old eating habits. Eating ground beef is genuinely enjoyable, and biology itself explains precisely why meat satisfies humans so completely every single time. Humans have been consuming meat for hundreds of thousands of years, and our bodies remain biologically well adapted to it. The fat, the protein, and the flavor compounds together send a powerful signal to your brain that you are truly fed. That deep and lasting satiety signal is something plant proteins and processed foods simply cannot replicate no matter what. When you feel truly and completely satisfied after every meal, you stop obsessing over food entirely and live freely. That mental freedom from constant food obsession is one of the most underappreciated and powerful tools for lasting fat loss. People never fully realize how much mental energy they waste thinking about food when they are never truly satisfied. Ground beef simultaneously solves the physical hunger, the mental hunger, and the nutritional gaps in your diet all at once. That is ultimately and completely why it is the single best protein for fat loss that most people overlook entirely. If you are serious about losing fat while keeping your hard-earned muscle, your protein quality is completely non-negotiable always. You cannot afford to eat suboptimal, incomplete protein sources when you are sitting in a caloric deficit and actively cutting. Every single calorie must work as hard as possible for you, and that means choosing the most complete foods available. Ground beef is the most complete and nutritionally dense whole food protein source available at a genuinely practical price point. It gives you complete protein with leucine for muscle synthesis and collagen peptides for accelerated recovery and joint protection. It delivers zinc for hormonal health, taurine, creatine, glycine, heme iron, and B vitamins, all within one single food. No other single food on this planet delivers all of these critical benefits simultaneously the way ground beef naturally does. The expensive premium steak gives you most of the nutrients, but completely misses the collagen peptides from connective tissue always. The whey protein shake gives you the muscle-building amino acids, but delivers none of the crucial collagen system benefits. The chicken breast gives you lean protein, but absolutely none of the micronutrient richness or collagen properties found in beef. Only ground beef gives you the complete and comprehensive nutritional package that makes genuine and lasting fat loss truly possible. This is supported by peer-reviewed research, documented nitrogen balance studies, and the real measurable results of people eating this way. The practical takeaway is beautifully and refreshingly simple, without any complicated protocols or expensive products required from you whatsoever. Eat more ground beef, especially the kind with natural fat content still intact, and do not overcook it unnecessarily. Season it well, pair it consistently with colorful vitamin C-rich vegetables, and eat it regularly over many committed weeks. Do this while maintaining a moderate and sensible calorie deficit, and the fat will come off steadily and reliably. Your joints will genuinely feel better, your recovery will noticeably speed up, and your skin will visibly look healthier. Your energy will become more consistent every single day, because you are finally fueling your body with exactly what it needs. You will feel genuinely satisfied and complete after every meal, which means cravings stop controlling your daily food decisions entirely. That is the kind of sustainable fat loss that actually lasts, because it is built entirely on real whole food. Not on willpower alone, not on deprivation, not on expensive supplements or complicated protocols, just real whole food done right. The people who achieve truly lasting fat loss results are not following exotic superfood plans or complex restrictive dietary programs. They are eating simple fundamental whole foods that work with their biology rather than constantly and exhaustingly fighting against it. Ground beef is as simple and fundamental as food can possibly get, and that simplicity is its entire extraordinary power. It is not glamorous or trendy, but it is deeply consistent and remarkably effective every single time you eat it consistently. Do not ever let its simplicity fool you into believing something fancier or more expensive would deliver you meaningfully better results. The best nutrition strategies are almost always the simple foundational ones that you can genuinely sustain without burning out completely. Ground beef has been one of those foundational strategies sitting right in front of you the entire time without recognition. Start incorporating it intentionally and consistently into your daily meals, and pay close attention to how your body genuinely responds. Most people begin noticing real improvements in energy levels, workout recovery, and hunger control within the very first 2 weeks. The visible fat loss follows shortly after, as your body finally adjusts to optimal nutrition and improved protein signaling overall. You will genuinely wonder why nobody ever told you this sooner, and why you spent so long chasing other things. The answer was always ground beef sitting quietly at your local grocery store for under $5 per pound, always. Cheaper than any supplement, more complete than any protein powder, and far more satisfying than every other available protein option. This is the protein source for real and lasting fat loss that you genuinely wish someone had told you sooner. Now you know the complete and full truth, and you have every single reason to start making this important change today.